So Arrow fans, unfortunately Arrow is still a little bit of a ways off, so in today's video we're going to go over some brand new information on upcoming Arrow episodes and just discuss Arrow as a whole, because why not? It's fun to talk about new Arrow things. How's it going, Vigilantes? Welcome to a brand new Arrow video. As I said, Arrow's on break, but that doesn't mean new information isn't coming out. I mean, for example, Beth Schwartz has tweeted out the episode title for episode... can't talk, what is wrong with me? But we'll get to that a little bit later. But first of all, I want to go over a couple of the synopsises for the next couple of episodes. There's a few promo photos and just general stuff that I want to talk about. So of course, Vigilantes, if you want to see more Arrow updates just like this and just speculations and fun things and more stuff like this, why not subscribe to the channel? And I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button and shared this on Twitter or Facebook or wherever, because it really does help out the video more than you could ever know. So the next Arrow episode, as you guys know, is episode 14, and in this episode, I believe it's called Brothers and Sisters, I speculated in my trailer breakdown, even though it didn't actually show any of this stuff, that, you know, it seems that obviously maybe Oliver and Emiko might be working together. They've kind of, you know, bonded a little bit more now. Emiko kind of gets the vibes from Oliver that he's nothing like what she thought the Queens, or well, the Queens were like, and in these promo photos it really does show that, and this is what makes me really happy seeing this stuff. Here we see Oliver, you know, in Emiko's arrow-like cave, if you will. It's just gonna be interesting seeing stuff like this. We see Oliver looking at the arrows that she's making. I think, you know, he'll be like kind of proud of her, be like, how did you learn to do this by yourself? I'm kind of hoping for answers like that anyway, because, well, after all, she is the copycat Green Arrow, and she is making her stuff very, very similar. Obviously, we see Wild Dog there at the same time. He's no stranger to this place. That just reminds me, I really like Wild Dog's and Emiko's kind of relationship this season. You know, and how they found each other after everyone did their own thing. After Oliver went slab side, he needed that, and that's what he got with Emiko. But now, you know, Emiko's being brought into the fold. It's very, very interesting with the Arrow Cave coming back as well, and this, you know, Spartan episode in episode 19 that we'll get to. It just makes me think that we're really going full on Team Arrow again by the back half of this season, and you know, maybe that's where the mark of 4 will come from. I've got a feeling, I could be wrong with this, and I know I'm going off a little bit off topic here, but that the mark of 4, I did want to bring that up in this video, could be like one of the pinnacle, or like the final moments of this season when Arrow is at its strongest. Maybe Team Arrow is back, Emiko is maybe in the fold, Diggle is Spartan again, maybe he's not with Argus, maybe Lila's, you know, helming all of that, and that is when they get those tattoos to remind them forevermore to be there for one another when the time is in need. But even though we know in 20 years in the future that didn't exactly kind of work out, but you know, it's still gonna be really, really cool to see that fellowship of Team Arrow, if you will. But if we think back to the trailer, I mean, it didn't look like Oliver was doing massively anything specific. Maybe it was that typical drug bust, as, you know, Renee puts it, or like a typical Vigilante drug bust they're doing. Maybe it is going to be fillery in that sense, but a good filler, because we want to see the two Green Arrows team up together, taking down your typical crime in Star City. That'd be pretty awesome. Other than that, some other really cool stuff we see in these promo photos for the upcoming episode is the Ghost Initiative. We see Joe Wilson here with a blade, and it seems like he's going against Diaz here. Now, I wonder if this is like a real fight or just like a aggressive training thing that happens. It's going to be, maybe Diggle will break it up, because we do see Diggle there as well. Other than that, big fans of Laurel and Felicity moments this season, which those two have been quite a good pair. You'll be pleased to see right here. It seems we're going to be getting more of that. I have to say, you know, at the beginning, I wasn't mega sure about the way they were conducting themselves with Laurel's or Black Siren's redemptive path, but you know, it really has, the candle has waxed or melted. It's such a terrible analogy for me, but it's settled. Like, I really am enjoying it. I'm enjoying Black Siren, and everything she's done for the team already this season really has proven that she has more or less already changed. It's just that the creases need to be ironed out, so to speak, and it looks like we're going to get even more of that, and it's going to be interesting to see if, you know, Black Siren is going to continue to be, or should I just say Laurel now, the light for Felicity, because as we know, Felicity in the future is seemingly dark, and I'm wondering if, you know, like how they swapped roles earlier on this season with how, you know, Felicity wanted to torture the freaking Silencer. No, what is it? The Silencer? Yep, the Longbow Hunters. You know what I mean? maybe it will continue being that way. Maybe she will have to do that. But either way, moving onwards to other things. Now, episode 15. As of when I'm making this video, I wouldn't be surprised if the promo photos came out as I publish it, but whatever. This is quite an interesting synopsis. The episode title is called Training Day, and the synopsis is as follows. Team Arrow attempts to work with the SCPD. So Team Arrow attempts to work with the Star City Police Department, but much to Oliver's frustration, things don't go as planned. Meanwhile, Dinah gets some life-changing news. So I'm wondering, you know, what is going on here? Like, wasn't Team Arrow, at least most of them, deputized? So I don't know if what they're trying to say here is Team Arrow attempts to work with the Star City Police Department, and they are working with them, but maybe Oliver wants to do something differently, and they're not molding completely with them. Maybe Dinah isn't there because of her freaking throat slit injury. So, you know, obviously Team Arrow, whether they're deputized or not, working with the Star City Police Department isn't running as smoothly as normal because maybe Dinah is temporarily healing, blah, 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 kind of thing. But I'm not saying they're going to become undeputized or anything like that, because that would just regress the whole story so much. It would literally mean Oliver is a vigilante again on the streets and stuff like that, and why wouldn't he get arrested and go back to Slabside when everyone knows who he is? So I'm thinking it must be something to do with that. But speaking of Dinah, it does say that, you know, she receives or gets some life-changing news. Now, my only theory in terms of this is that, you know, when she got cut by Stanley, we were all speculating that, does this mean she keeps her Canary powers or not? I kind of think that maybe she won't. Maybe that is the life-changing news. That is quite life-changing. But in the future, we haven't even seen her use her Canary Cry, if I remember correctly. All that she said in terms of talking to future Renee, who's in charge of the Glades, is that, you know, we had that kind of face-off years ago. So what I'm trying to say is here, let's just assume that it is that she can't, you know, maybe her vocal cords got damaged to the point where if she uses the Canary Cry, it might permanently damage her vocal cords. So it's like, okay, if you do that, do you want to talk? So if you want to talk, don't use it, kind of thing. It might be like that, but I don't think that's a massive problem. I mean, it sucks in terms of that she is the Black Canary and that she should be able to use the Canary Cry, but Dinah is way qualified enough to be a vigilante and just, you know, literally be like how Oliver is and other vigilantes on the team like Renee and people like that. She can still be a really valuable member of Team Arrow with hand-to-hand combat without her Canary Cry. But it just feels almost too hard to believe that this is it forever. 20 years in the future, she still doesn't have it. But maybe that is what they are doing. I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments below. But guys, now we need to talk about the interesting episode. Have you ever wanted a Diggle-centric episode? Because that seems like what we're going to get. So Beth Schwartz recently tweeted out the episode title for episode 19 called Spartan. Already wild theories on the internet saying, oh, does this mean that he's going to become freaking the Green Lantern or something like that and blah, 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 blah. I really don't think anything like that is going to happen. If you want to get into that, maybe we're going to see another Diggle from another Earth in the crossover or something. But mainly this episode, I think, is going to be an episode where we're going to see some flashbacks potentially for Diggle, but like also maybe some flashbacks to, you know, previous seasons of Spartan. And I think this narrative, I could be wrong, is going to lead to essentially Team Arrow being back. As I said earlier, the Mark of 4 tattoo happening. We're getting the Arrow Cave back. I just think everything is pointing towards the end of this season in terms of we're getting a really solid foundation for, you know, Team Arrow again, without them being, you know, compared to the beginning of the season in their own different quadrants, like Diggle and Argus, Dinah, Chief or Captain of the SCPD, Oliver in freaking prison, Renee trying to figure out what the F to do, and then eventually finds Emiko. You get what I'm trying to say. So there's been this interesting post on Reddit. I don't know how valid it is, but I think this is where a lot of the Green Lantern thingies are coming from. And that seems to be that there is some casting for a character named General Stewart. So he is a male, 60s to 70s, a decorated American general who crosses Team Arrow's path on a dangerous mission. Stewart's brilliant military mind afforded him great success in a decades-long career in the army, but his greatest regret is his broken relationship with his mentee from the military, John Diggle, possible recurring guest star. So you can kind of get, if this is true, let's just assume it is for a second, you know, well, first of all, I guess people were saying General Stewart in then making that Green Lantern connection there. Maybe it is an Easter egg. And people are now saying, oh, what if he passes down the ring? I think that's where it's all coming from. But, you know, putting that aside, I think, you know, maybe in episode 19, Diggle is going to come across this character in present day, and it's going to lead to a whole kind of very Diggle-centric episode. Of course, we're going to see other fillery stuff kind of unfold, I assume, but the main focus will be on Diggle, flashbacks to whatever happened between those two, you know, maybe figuring out the present day stuff with him, and by the end of it, maybe it's all good. But maybe it will be something completely different with this character as well. But it's going to be really interesting with this anyway. Hopefully, the Spartan episode, with that being the episode title, infers that he's going to be Spartan again. And I'll just say it one more time, if that's the case, maybe, you know, things go south with Argus, and by the end of Arrow season, we see everyone in the Arrow Cave again. Would be wicked if we see Emiko in there as well, kind of taking the place of Speedy, if you will. I'm not saying she will be, maybe she still will be a copycat Green Arrow, and then everyone gets the Mark of 4 tattoo. But, you know, this does beg questions of where is Emiko Queen in the freaking flash forward scenes? Where is all of that stuff going on? People are also wondering, is Diggle going to die in Spartan? I really don't think that's going to happen, you know, in the episode 19 Spartan episode. Don't forget that they still need to do Connor Hawke and make him John Diggle Jr. and everything like that. So that's evidently been painted out in recent episodes with Dinah recognizing him, saying like, oh wait, I know who you are. Maybe that wasn't the exact line, but you know what I mean. Maybe that flash forward, as you know, previous flash forwards have done, paint themselves into the present day with the storyline. So, you know, I think we've got quite a few things to look forward to with the back half of this season. I know this was a bit of a rambly kind of information video, but there's not really much to go on at the minute, so I just wanted to have a little speculation based on some, you know, concrete factual synopsises. Okay, Jesus Christ, that word. But other than that, everyone, I would love to know what you thought about everything we discussed in today's video down in the comments below. Other than that, subscribe to this channel if you're brand new to stay up to date with Arrow. Like this video, crush that like button if you did enjoy it, and do consider sharing it on Facebook and Twitter and other social media places. Links as always are in the description down below. But other than that, Vigilantes, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.